Merry Christmas, fam. We're having a hell of a Christmas pump. Bitcoin's doing its thing, up roughly 5,000 on the day, looking to retest 100 Gs. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as 37% of the UAE retail investors plan to increase their crypto in 2025. I'll be sharing the latest from this survey, as well as 31% of all Bitcoin holdings now officially belong to the ETFs, governments, and MicroStrategy. I'll be sharing this report from the Crypto Quant CEO, as well as macro guru Raoul Pal predicts crypto market will rally pretty strongly into the end of the year. Send it. I'll be sharing his timeline and outlook. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin flashing a bullish pattern that led to a 100% rally earlier this year, according to crypto analysts. We'll also be discussing the latest from the one and only high priest Bitcoin, Max Keiser, projecting Bitcoin to smash $2.2 million per coin, along with all the updates from the high priest. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes, subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. Merry Christmas Eve. Today is pod number 1858. I'm your host, JV. It's December 24th, 2025. We're having a hell of a Christmas pump. This is what I like to see. Thank you, Satoshi, for hooking it up. Bitcoin's up in the green, 5 Gs on the day. We already eclipsed 99 a little earlier, looking to retest 100,000. And towards the end of this stream, when we're done with the pod, we're going to switch it and flip it into a pump watch, just because we're up so much. I think it'll be fun Christmas Eve here, celebrating with the fam. So expect this stream to go on for hours, the stream that never ends. How about those apples? But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin in the forest green, up over 5% on the day. Not too shabby. It's cool because a 5% pump is literally 5,000 when you're looking at 100,000 price action. You also have Ether, BNB, all the major cryptos pumping and in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The market cap has been soaring. Here you go. We're at 3.4 trillion total crypto market cap. Bitcoin market cap above $1.928 trillion. There's 145 billion worth of volume of the past 24 hours. And the Bitcoin dominance is 56.7%. Ether dominance all the way down to 12.2%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers of the past week. You can't make this shit up. Proof we're living in the simulation. Fartcoin is the number one gainer on the day, up 45%. Now trading at $1.08. Go figure. Fartcoin. Who would have thunketh? Next, we have Pudgy Penguins. More evidence we're living in a simulation, up 25%. on the day. Next, we have BitGet and Hedera. Let me know which alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles. Yesterday, virtually everything was in the blood red on the daily. Today, we flip it. Everything's back in the green, baby. And zooming out on the monthly, it's a mixed bag. I'd say maybe 60-40 red over green. And checking out the Crypto Green and Fear Index. Today, we're 73. Yesterday, 70. Last week, an 87. And last month, 80. And extreme greed, the higher this number goes, the more likely of a pullback. And after today's massive pump, I would assume tomorrow this number is going to shoot up. And checking out the time chain calendar, we have 173,815 blocks until the next halving in 2028. And we're currently on block number 876,185. And you can currently exchange $1 for 1,027 sats. So stack them sats and let's freaking go. But anyways, headline here reads, Bitcoin stand a rally, buyers step in to drive the price on 98. That's right. Here you're looking at a sexy 1 hour chart. Bitcoin passed even 99 here today on Christmas Eve. Large spot buyers lifted the deflated Bitcoin price action. How about that? Trading view showed Bitcoin hitting new local high of 98. And again, we were 99.2 when I screenshotted it earlier this morning on Coinbase. But anyways, up by more than 3% on the day. Bitcoin attracted fresh bids after a shaky start of the week. Saw a retest of the December lows. That's right. We crashed to like 92 the other day, and we're right back near 100, just like that. The Santa rally may have come for crypto after all. Thank you, Satoshi. Bitcoin large spot buyers are showing up. Let's friggin' go. I mean, you can see here the crypto exchange Bitcoin order book data. Bullish. Now, the latest data from CoinGlass put the 24-hour short liquidations at nearly 40 million at that time, with a cross crypto total of 150 million. Quoting the analyst here, nice strength in Bitcoin today. So far, we flipped the first VWAP resistance, which you can see in the green arrow on your screen. And if we can flip the second one of 98.5, then the all-time high can be tackled. Current all-time high sits at roughly 108.3. Now, Coinbase Premium also looks like it wants to break the downtrend, which is the blue line, as you can see here. The chart additionally showed a rebound in the Coinbase Premium, reflecting increased buying pressure during the U.S. trading hours. Now, popular analyst Rat Capital adopted a more cautious view. Here's what he said. Yesterday, Bitcoin showed some signs of a relief rally, after which the price was rejected to the new lows. Today, Bitcoin's rebounding yet again, and once again into the old support. Overall, as long as the previously lost supports turn into new resistance, additional downside should be expected. Conversely, a reclaim of the previous lost supports would obviously be bullish, and that's precisely what we're witnessing. Bitcoin also outperformed the U.S. stocks on the day, with the S&P and NASDAQ indexes both up by less than 1%. So Bitcoin for the win. And pulling up some of the live charts, you should be able to see here in your screen. Let me flip it for you guys cleaner. There you go. Yeah, you're looking at the Coinbase chart. This is live and in the flesh. You do have a rectangle formation, which is highlighted. A lot of targets. So I'm going to read you the bull targets. Right now, 107, which would take us right back on the cusp of price discovery. Again, price discovery is currently sitting at 108.3 on Coinbase. And look how many green candles we've had on the 1 hour chart consecutively here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We call that the staircase to heaven. You got to dig it. So 1 hour chart, very bullish right now. Zooming out, we'll get a quick look at all the different time frames. The 4 hour, which is one of my favorites, still shows the rising wedge overall formation. And we do have a bull target sitting at 107, very similar to the 1 hour chart. A lot of action going on in the charts right now. Extremely volatile, which is to be expected. And we have 1 week left to close out the month. And typically the final week of the year is very bullish, especially the year of the halving. So new all-time highs still in play, family. We have a rising wedge formation on the daily chart. You can see the big green candle, which is being formed. The past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days have been bearish. We've been correcting, but finally bullish once again. And zooming out from the daily, take a look at the weekly, which is going to still show the 124,000 target. As you can see here, we had like 5 or 6 green consecutive candle closes for the weekly since the Trump election victory, and we finally just got the first corrective weekly candle. That was Sunday a couple of days ago, but we're pumping back in the green. Where do you think we'll likely close for the final week of the year? Let me know, and take a quick look at a monthly. And also let me know where you feel we'll end the year on the 31st. Again, 7 days out. And as you can see, Moonvember candle was massive. We were forming a red, and now we're right back pretty even McEven, even Steven. You feel me? But let me know where you feel we'll likely be before the end of the year. And I'll read those comments out loud here in a moment. And welcome again, everyone joining us. Happy Merry Christmas. Next story of the day. Here's what's going on in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. And remember, a few podcast episodes ago, we discussed them potentially holding 400,000 Bitcoin. That's the word on the street, at least. Well, they're in the headlines again. 37% of the UAE retail investors plan to increase their crypto in 2025. That's right. According to the eToro survey, it showed many retail investors based in the UAE are planning to increase their asset investments of crypto in 2025. They surveyed 1,000 retail investors in the UAE to determine their investment goals for the next year. 54% of the respondents listing financial goals as their primary New Year's resolutions. How many of you can relate? The goals range from investing in stocks to buying more cryptos. You already know it's a very wealthy place to be. A lot of money coming out of there. And about 40% of the survey participants said they want to increase their exposure to stocks, bonds, and commodities, while 38% want to invest in real estate. Meanwhile, 37% said their goal is to increase their crypto investments. I definitely think Bitcoin is the superior investment, especially compared to like real estate or any other commodity, because it's the only commodity in existence with a finite limited supply, and it's been outperforming everything in the history to ever exist. I mean, again, if you listen to Max, Bat, and Stacy from 14 years ago today and you bought Bitcoin, you'd be up 33 million%. You can't say that with any other commodity in existence. I'm just saying. And when asked about their strategies for achieving their financial resolutions, 51% of the respondents said they would increase their overall savings or investment contributions. 41% said they'd implement more comprehensive budget and expense tracking, and 38% said they adopt more frugal and mindful lifestyles. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, 28% of the participants said they would reduce shopping and dining out expenses. While some focus on tracking, reducing expenses, others plan to increase their earnings through their business. The survey also showed 32% plan to launch side hustles to boost their income, while 28% want to change careers to pursue the higher salaries. And in a news release, we had the eToro regional manager, George Nadav, said the resolutions show a shift into innovative wealth building. Quoting him here, 2025's resolutions highlight a proactive approach to not just financial security, but also a desire for self-improvement and adaptability. Now, I also want to touch upon what I covered a couple of days ago in the podcast. There was a rumor circulating that the UAE already holds roughly 400,000 Bitcoin, and they've been stacking on the low for a while. They haven't come out and made the announcement official, so we have to coin that a rumor. But there's a lot of high-level folks who have come out and said the same, like Max Keiser. Even recently, the Binance founder, CZ, made a tweet quoting an article source that reported upon that as well. So let me know if you think the UAE is stacking the biddy. I think behind closed doors, all the smart money, all the countries, nations, states, empires, sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, they're coming if they're not already in. You feel me? As the game theory continues in full effect. It was 2 pizzas for was it 10,000 Bitcoin? So the 10,000 Bitcoin with Bitcoin at 100,000 is $1 billion pizza pie. The most expensive pizza pie ever bought. But anyways, next story of the day, yo. Here we go. 31% Bitcoin. 31% of the Bitcoin in circulation is controlled in an ETF, government, or MicroStrategy. Fucking crazy, right? Headline here reads, 31% of all the Bitcoin holdings now belong, to the ETFs, governments, and MicroStrategy. And I just totally stretched out the screen. Didn't mean to do that. Hopefully that didn't infect your view, but hopefully you guys can still see that. But anyways, here we go. No buy lean. What the hell does that even mean? Yo, Daily Huddle, get your shit together. What's going on here? But anyways, I digress. ETFs, governments, and MicroStrategy own nearly 1/3 of all the Bitcoin holdings in the world. 31% of the known Bitcoin holdings owned by the ETFs, governments, and MicroStrategy represents a 14% increase from December 2023. According to the Crypto Quant CEO, as he shared here alongside the table, Bitcoin cap table update, ETFs, governments, and MicroStrategy now account for 31% of all the Bitcoin holdings, up from 14% last year. That's right. BlackRock now has, I think, over 500,000 single-handedly. And the charts don't lie. This is a side-by-side. December of 2023 versus December of 2024. You can see the exchanges have a large slice of the pie. The miners have a very respectable slice of the pie. And look how big the ETFs and funds are in comparison to last year, which is the yellow slice of the pie. And then look how big the government slice of the orange bitty got. Wild. Then look at MicroStrategy. It tripled from last year. Approximately. So you already know, family. That's pretty wild. The CryptoQuant CEO discussed the importance of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings, quoting him here. Different forms of money require distinct gateways. Bitcoiners should recognize MicroStrategy as a gateway, bridging NASDAQ 100 money to the biddy. I don't understand why some Bitcoiners dislike MicroStrategy. They might raise concerns about self-custody, but very few people actually practice self-custody, just as only a few care about privacy breaches. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin bank model aligns well with the current adoption level. Want to know why I think this is scary? And I'll continue with the article. That means 33% of the Bitcoin can theoretically be confiscated by the US government because they're ultimately the ones in control, right? Because any Bitcoin sitting on Coinbase can be confiscated, and all the Bitcoin ETF, if it's not self-custodied, it could be confiscated. So that's something you need to keep in the back of your mind. I mean, if you trust your government so much and you think that's something they would never do, it's not something you need to worry about. But I'm probably one of the folks who trust the government the least amount of any other human being in the world. So I just don't trust anything. If there is even a 0.5% chance that they can confiscate it, I wouldn't, contribute in that sense. And I would self-custody just because there's a slight slither opportunity for them to steal your Bitcoin. So please do, keep that in mind. He also says if the gateway's active fund management enables the acquisition of a significant amount of Bitcoin with relatively little capital, that marks the success of the Bitcoin bank. And of course, there's always the risk of failure. So one should view it as entrusting funds at a bank with a goal of gaining more Bitcoin, using Bitcoin itself as a form of money. But there you have it. My question for y'all, how many of you think that there's a 1% chance in the future that the government can say Bitcoin's a threat to our national security, and so therefore this is the Bitcoin Seizure Act. We're seizing all the Bitcoin from Coinbase, which happens to be the primary custodian for BlackRock, I think MicroStrategy, and every major Bitcoin institution. You feel me? Maybe minus Fidelity. How high are we going in 2025? Let's ask Method Man and Redman. How high? Next story of the day, A. Let's break her down. Let's discuss an end-of-the-year rally, then 100% pump, and then Max Keiser's latest 2.2 million Bitcoin price prediction. A shout-out to the high priest. And yeah, this headline reads, Macro Guru Raoul Pal predicts crypto market will rally pretty strongly into the year-end. Here's his outlook. And look at that itty-bitty little extraterrestrial with the ice cream. Interesting. Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam. I digress. Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal believes that the crypto market will really rally heading into the end of the year. Now, historically, it usually does. On the new interview with Scott Melker, he says that based on historical precedents, Bitcoin and other digital assets may put up larger gains during the last week. And I think that is correct. Let me know if you're looking forward to that. And we're in the last week. We have 7 days to the end of the year. A rally at this time of the year is often referred to as the Santa Claus rally. And lo and behold, we're up 5,000. The rally already began. A financial term used to describe the calendar effect that traditional equities historically have gone up on the last 5 market trading days of the year in December and the first 2 trading days of the new year. That takes us into January 2nd. Quoting him here. Normally, what happens at this phase is we should rally into the year end pretty strongly in everything. But then the real game gets played in the first quarter. Powell also believes that the most explosive rally for the current market cycle is still yet to come. Agreed. And that it could occur next year, most likely, possibly around the Fed's meeting in March when the rates get cut. I think my next phraseology is going to be the banana singularity. Wow, I've never heard of the banana singularity. That's when everything goes bananas. We're not at the banana zone singularity point yet. That will come as well. That's probably sometime Fed March when it gets silly. Let me know if you're expecting that silliness. Now, Powell also warns there may be a temporary correction around the end of the year after the rally due to the liquidity tightening. He believes the growing money supply is the catalyst for the Bitcoin price and that when it declines, so does the biddy. Quoting him here, let's look at the last U.S. President Donald Trump administration. From September to the end of the year, the dollar rallied. September to the end of the year, rates went up. Same narrative. It was all about the tariffs, and that's what he is going to do and how he is going to play out. Almost exactly as the year turned, the dollar went lower. The rates went lower. So I've been producing a chart showing that the global liquidity tightened, and it has a 10-week lead time. And that should mean that at the end of the year, we get the correction. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I think we're probably going to pump bullish versus a correction. I think the correction is in, and that's what we just witnessed. Dropping to 92,000. I mean, we've been correcting for the past 5 days, and now we're back in the bull, and literally 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31. Literally 7 days until the end of the year. So let me know how you think we'll likely perform. Do you think we'll continue correcting or continue to pump? I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, it's another 10x. That means everyone's 10x wealthier from today. I mean, come on now, guys. But anyways, next story of the day. Keep the comments flowing. Greatly appreciate it. Let's continue where we left off. Bitcoin's flashing a bullish pattern that led to a 100% rally earlier in the year. According to analyst Justin Bennett, that's right. The crypto strategist says Bitcoin's forming a bullish pattern, similar to what was witnessed earlier this year before sparking massive surges. And he also says that Bitcoin formed an ascending channel on the daily chart in Q1 of this year when Bitcoin was trading at around 36. That's right. Bitcoin was trading at 36 earlier in the year. Let that sink in, fam. We're already up like 300x. An ascending, so far this year, an ascending channel is typically viewed as a bullish pattern as it suggests an asset's printing higher highs and higher lows. And according to the chart, Bitcoin briefly traded below the pattern's diagonal support in February before igniting a 2x rally in a few months. Quoting him here alongside the chart, we have seen the Bitcoin channels like this before, like this one, December, January of last year, right before the Bitcoin doubled in the price. I doubt this time is any different. You can see the bear trap. You can see the bullish trigger. Pretty little bitty going up. Enough said, hands down. He says the Bitcoin is flashing the similar pattern now that Bitcoin may be able to reignite renewed rallies if it reclaims 100,000, which we're on the cusp of reclaiming. Quoting him here, although I think the dips are for buying the spot, the highest conviction perpetual long will materialize on a reclaim of the daily chart of the area between 99 and 102. I got 99 problems. Biddy ain't one. Hit me. And to do that, the 110 and the 120 are next in 2025, in my opinion. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Naturally, to get to $1 million a coin, we first got to hit 110 and then 120. And I'll speculate then 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, I digress. But there you go, yo. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts. Now for our featured story of the day. Max Keiser's predicting 2.2 million in play. He upped his original target from 220,000 by a factor of 10x. And he just reiterated that target today on Christmas Eve, the 24th, with some very interesting tweets. So I'm going to break down the latest from the High Priest and welcome everyone joining the live stream, live and in the flesh. Shout out Max Keiser. I'm going to be there in El Salvador, kicking it with Max and Stacy, and finally getting to meet them after talking about them virtually every day for the past 7 years. So I'm looking forward to that. If any of y'all are going to be in El Salvador, Bitcoin country, in 2 weeks, holla. But I'm going to read the story and then I'll read you all his latest tweets. Prominent Bitcoin maximalist and former financial journalist Max Keiser has voiced a new ultra-bullish Bitcoin price prediction based on newly emerged data. He now believes Bitcoin is likely to soar as high as 2.2 million per coin in the long term, and I believe that means the next 12 to 24 months. Keiser commented on a tweet published by the Bitcoin enthusiast relating to the Bitcoin holdings of various countries, including El Salvador, where Max lives and where he holds the position of El Salvador President Nayib Bukele's Bitcoin advisor, in respect for him for that. Keiser commented on the aforementioned tweet about El Salvador's commitment to continue buying and utilizing the Bitcoin for the economy. The tweet also says the UAE supposedly holds $40 billion worth of the Bitcoin, even though there has been no official confirmation yet, which I've covered numerous times on the pod. Now, the ex-post author presumed that if all or major countries started the bidding, he expects the price of the world's most popular crypto Bitcoin to skyrocket over the next 12 to 24 months if countries around the world begin accumulating, which we all know they're doing low-key. I mean, it's not even a question to ask me, but you let me know your thoughts. And then he thanked Max Keiser for the pleasure of following him. So check this out. Here's the tweet. I'm going to read it to you. El Salvador is obviously committed and pursuing this path, but most other countries have not. The UAE, the United Arab Emirates, supposedly has $40 billion worth of Bitcoin, but I haven't seen the official confirmation, and you're probably not going to see it. If all or many major countries start bidding, what would you expect this to do to the price of Bitcoin over the next coming 12 to 24 months if there's an aggressive push by countries worldwide? We call this the global hash war, coined by Max years ago. Thanks, Max, for always enjoy following you. Max responded to that, and this was off the back of the original post from Max. This exchange stabilization fund convertible bond approach to acquiring Bitcoin is already being discussed in El Salvador as a way to Bitcoinize our gold reserves. We sell the development rights now for the current and future payments of the Bitcoin. Now, if you missed the big news, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, Nayib Bukele announced that they're sitting on the country of El Salvador roughly $3 trillion worth of untapped, unmined gold, in which they're most likely going to just start trading for Bitcoin. So the race is on, the hash wars, the game theory. So Max responded to this guy's tweet and wrote, 2.2 million per coin, hence 2.2 million in play. Now for some other recent tweets from the High Priest. But first, I got to show you the receipts. It's very important because if you don't know, check this out. Stacy Herbert, and I love her with the short hair here. I shared this with my mom earlier, and her first thing she said, I love Stacy with the short hair. So if you're watching, Stacy, we love you with the short hair, and we love you with no matter if you have the long hair. We're just saying. Stacy and Max promoting Bitcoin on TV, proof of work at 30 cents, exactly 14 years ago today. If you listen to Max and Stacy, your Bitcoin holdings are up 33 million %. I repeat, if you hodled the Bitcoin from when they announced it on TV that it is the greatest thing to ever exist since sliced bread, then you're up 33 million %. Hence, They're the true OGs. Much respect to Max and Stacy. How many of you got orange pilled thanks to Max, Stacy, and the Kaiser report? Holla and let me know. He also recently tweeted, Max, a Bitcoin node in every house is one of Bukele's New Year resolutions. A decentralized nation-state model. That means if another president took place in the future and Bukele was out, they can't stop the Bitcoin train because every single house in El Salvador is going to have a Bitcoin node. They can't shut it down. The U.S.'s dilapidated infrastructure needs trillions of dollars. Max also predicts that Trump won't get the approval to buy $1 trillion in Bitcoin. He says move to El Salvador and experience the true freedom. He also recently tweeted, Trump has to decide if he wants to buy the Panama Canal in Greenland or Bitcoin. Now, clearly, Bitcoin's the smartest choice. If he waits to buy the biddy, the price will rocket higher than the U.S. can afford, even if they print USD to buy it. My guess is Trump misses the Bitcoin play because he actually doesn't get it. And someone chimed in, Trump definitely does not get Bitcoin. He does get being number one. That's our only hope. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on that and what Max just laid out for us. And what are your thoughts on him upping his prediction from 220 this cycle to now 2.2 million? Obviously, if the United States confirms the strategic Bitcoin reserve, meaning Trump actually signs it into place and they start stockpiling Bitcoin for the U.S. Treasury, anything is possible. And also recently, Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki here on Christmas Eve wrote this tweet, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, Bitcoin crybabies. Peter Schiffmeister, crying about Bitcoin prices dropping down rather than say thank you and buying more Bitcoins. Cry, babies, cry. Buy, buy, buy. Not cry, cry, cry. Be grateful, grow up, and buy more Bitcoin. Well said there, Rich Dad. I couldn't agree more. And there you have it, yo. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree, disagree with Max and Rich Dad and Stacey Herbert. And we'll go from there. JB agrees. She looks fabulous with the short cut. Yeah, not all women look so fantastical with the short hair, but Stacey is definitely a dime piece. And shout out to Max and Stacey. They're my favorite power duo when it comes to Bitcoin. And they've been, again, preaching Bitcoin since the early days of the Kaiser report, back when it was sub $1, and you got to give them all the credit for that. How many Bitcoin millionaires were birthed as a result of that show? Endless amounts. I would dare say that the Kaiser report, in my opinion, the greatest financial news show to ever exist, because all the other financial news shows are all FUD and propaganda. They've been speaking the truth, for a very long time. Check Tempa. I never heard of that one, but I appreciate the super. It touched the all-time high, looking bullish. Cheers, Mark, and thank you for the super. My miners come in by the 27th. Oh, no. The Oracle's mining the biddy. Watch out now. I saw a little miner, little guy, earn a 3 Bitcoin block reward the other day. That's 300 G's, baby. And shout out to the new chairman of the SEC, Nippinator. There he is. Nippinator's in the building. There you go. Shout out to the Nip. And shout out to everyone on the live stream. Looks like we got 250 people on the Tube, 250 people on the X. We're also on Rumble. And what we're going to do today, instead of ending the YouTube stream and doing the after party on Rumble, we're just going to keep the YouTube stream running and flip it in a moment into the Pump Watch. And we'll do live Q&A, chart watching. Why not? Being we're pumping, you know what I mean? And we'll play some Chandy jams, of course. Shout out Chandy if you're watching or watching the replay later. Let's go. Is there an Airbnb type platform for the Bitcoiners? Probably. I like to believe all that exists already. You know what I mean? That would be cool to earn. Amen. Precisely. So yeah, let me flip this into the Pump Watch, fam. We're going to keep the stream going. We just finished the podcast segment of the stream. And instead of ending it, we're going to keep it going. And we'll just continue and see how high we climb today. Nippinator says it's a go. Look at that cute face. He says it's a go. It's a go. So there you go, crypto bros. Welcome to the Pump Watch. Welcome to the Pump Watch. 97.7. Can we get a 100K? 6 figs all day. 100K. Bitcoin, babe. Look at that. What's up, yo?